Welcome to Shul Machshava on the Daf Shir sponsor Lu Nishmas Am Yaakov Shalom Le'Abbas Yitzchok. We're holding Basra Daf Kuf Nun Dalet. The Gemara in the bottom of Dalet bring the story that happened in Bnei Brak. The story that there was someone who sold the nechasim of his father, and the mishpacha said maybe he's a katan, maybe he's not a gadol. We have to go check and see if he has simonim, if there's hairs that grew in his body. So they went in front of Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva said, you're not allowed to come and be minavel to mistreat the dead body of this child. You can't do that. You can't touch him. You can't open up the caver to check his body. Rabbi Yosef Engel in the Gilyoina Shas over here asks, where is the source that you're not allowed to do nivul to the mace? What's the Issur? Where's the Issur? Where do we find this Issur in the Torah? So the first answer the Gilyoina Shas says is what says, Lo yisoli nivloso al eitz. We don't allow that someone who was punished, Mrs. Beis Din, to have an overnight where he's hanged. So maybe he says the Gilyoina Shas, maybe that's the source to all nivul and mace to learn from this place. That's answer number one. Answer number two, says the Gilyoina Shas, that maybe the source that you have a problem is because of the mitzvah to bury a mace. The din is that every mace has to be buried. If a person goes and starts dealing with his body and starts checking him out, during these moments is considered to be not buried. And to stop a kavura of a mace is a bitul mitzvah. Here, Kiryat, we learned in the past that the kavura is the process to get to tchias hamesim. So whenever a person stops the process, even for a moment, it's already a problem of not doing kavura karoi. Now there's another mahalach that many of the Chorim discuss, and they get very much to, or the story the way it's brought down in this daf and the way it's brought down in the next daf. The Chavas Yair, in the end of the Sefer Chavas Yair, there's tshuvas from Rav David Oppenheim. And there he brings a story from Harav Gershon, the Rav of Mitz, who was the Avodas Gershuni. And the story is that there was two Mesim that they realized that they didn't have the right clothing. They were not dressed properly for the mace. One of the Mesim was an adult, and the other mace was a child. So the Avodas Gershuni says, you can open the caver of the child to dress him properly, but not the caver of the adult. Why not? So he said a reason, and this gives another explanation in Nivul mace. He says the reason is because whenever you open the caver of the mace gets very worried. As we learned regarding Shmuel, that Shmuel Hanavi, he was afraid he's coming to the din. He was very worried when Shaul called him up. So whenever you open a mace, you open his caver, he gets very worried about Yom Adin. So therefore you can't do it. He says that's only a gadol, meaning above the age of 20, that he's nidoy bebeis in shemala. But a katan who's not nidoy, he has nothing to worry about. So you can always open the caver of a katan, not of a gadol. That's how the Avodas Gershuni said. So David Oppenheim brings the story that our Gemara brings here, and based on how the Gemara asks in the next daf. The Gemara in the next daf wants to know, what is the age that we're checking for? If he's 18 or if he's 20? Says of David Oppenheim, of course you should say that because they were checking if he was 18. Because if you're checking if he's 20, why does Rabbi Akiva say that the reason why you can't check him, because you're not allowed to do nivul? Say the reason why you can't check him, because if you check him, he's above the age of 20, he's going to be choishish, he's going to be scared of Yom Adin. So you see that there's no difference if he's 18 or 20 like a Yom Adin. Because if not, the Gemara should have mentioned, and that's what Rav David Oppenheim says. So the Shus Yaakov, who was the brother-in-law of David Oppenheim, says, okay, so why doesn't the Gemara bring the reason that we mentioned of Cherdas Adin? That maybe he's going to be scared to come to Yom Adin. So it says the Shus Yaakov at the beginning, Cherdas Adin, this is Lav Dafka. Because there's only Shmuel that's coming up. Usually the Mesim that open the caver, there's no problem that they're scared of the din. And the second answer, says Shus Yaakov, is that we talk here that they did not take out the mace from the caver. They left him in the caver. They just wanted to open the caver and look at him. So then there's no problem of Cherdas Adin, only a problem of Nivul. The Chacham Tzvi in Tzvi Mem Zayin says, we didn't have to get the Cherdas Adin. It could be Cherdas Adin is true. The Gemara could have mentioned it. But we don't have to get to that. We wanted to say the reason of Nivul, which is Shayach by a Gadol, by a Kotor, you want to see something that's always true. But then later the Chachutzvi in Siman Nun argues, and he says that's not true. There's din also by Ketanim, even though in Beis Shemalo they only punish for the age of 20, but there's also a din by Ketanim. And he brings a mocker is the Sefer Chesed LaAvram, which is the grandfather of the Chidah, that he says there in his Sefer that Ketanim do have some punishment in Shemaim too, although they don't have the main punishment. But Al Kol Panim, we see over here that there's another discussion of not opening and touching a mace because of the Cherdas Adin of the mace. Anyone who wants to join the Shomar Shova email us to WhatsApp, please email shomarshova@gmail.com.